Welcome from Winnipeg. We have a great calcified LAD case for you today. We'll do some calcium modification. Our goal is to be able to image the vessel and also be able to do some rotablation and potentially IVL if needed. Let's go to the next slide. So the case today is a 87-year-old patient who presented at the hospital with acute coronary syndrome and was brought to coronary angiography, and past medical history is really not really contributory. It does have a history of PCI to the RCA many years ago. And on angiography, you can go to maybe the next slide. You can see there is I think this is a cranial view of the LAD that shows diffuse calcium in the proximal segment and a couple of nodules of calcium right in the proximal segment. So which we think is the culprit. There's also some lesion in the circumflex, although it's moderate at best. Let's go to the next slide. You can see also the RCA diffusely calcified. Surprisingly, the stent in the distal RCA is patent, and hopefully we'll leave that for another day. Today, our goal is to be able to recanalize the LAD. Today, our team, Dr. Cass is with us, Arjun, our fellow, Sheila is nurse, everybody else is here, and we'll hopefully start. Our plan today was to primary wire first, see if we can actually get a balloon in there, open it up, and at least do some imaging to see what we're dealing with, and then subsequent to that, go with our 1.5 burr. Okay, so we're going to go with our universal wire, see how the lesion behaves. The patient's already heparinized. We have femoral access with a 7 French VL35 guide. There was a lot of tortuosity in the iliac. I don't know if I can maybe even show it to you later, but we really did need a braided armored sheath to be able to navigate that. It makes life so much easier. So we're going to go with our BMW. Can I get a wet one, please? Perfect. So what do you think, Malik? Do we balloon first? See if we can get an OCT across, or just go primary with?
I think you probably could try to get an OCT across first. If that doesn't go across, it'd be low threshold for ballooning. Don't want to modify it too much. It might throw you off with the interpretation of the OCT afterwards.
I could just tell like this wire doesn't want to move too much. I think the lesion is sort of hugging it. Couple tortuosity. I'd like to get it as deep as possible. See if I can get it in there.
We'll get the OCT ready. Or let's get some contrast.
A little puff there. Just give me a little puff. I just want to see whether am I in.
You're on the right trajectory.
There we go. I think that should be good enough. Like you'll loop it down. The reason I want to make sure we get it as deep as possible, I'm thinking once we are in with our rotowire, I want to bury it deep. So perfect. Yeah, I'll give you some contrast. Go ahead. Should we try with the 2.0 first? Because do you think OCT is going to cross?
I would love to get the OCT across first by itself. Give it a good shot here. Okay.
Can we have the OCT screen for us open here so I can see it as well?
Am I out there, Arjun?
Yeah, you got contrast there. Oh, it's good. I just want to get some screen for the, so you can actually see the live screen of the OCT.
There it is.
Can you guys on MedStreamland see the OCT? I want to make sure you guys can see it.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, let's see. Can you guys see the live angio? With a cine running, you can see the entire vessel is heavily calcified with 2 spots that are quite 2 nodules of calcium. And I think that's where the OCT was getting stuck. We'll see how this balloon goes. Opening there, I think it's going up, not too bad. Okay, let's come down.
12.
What do you guys think? Is there any osteal disease there that we're sort of fighting with that? Should I go up a little bit more? Hit it there?
I think the OCT should show that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get the OCT through that. Give the balloon back here, Sheila. Get the OCT back on. Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Let's
Push
try
it
the
back
OCT
in.
again, see whether they get some imaging of what we're dealing with. Because in terms of, I think the nemesis most of us agree is having nodularity, especially calcium that's quite nodular, is going to be tough. I don't know what your experience has been, Malik. What do you think in terms of what would be your go-to device if you had nodules?
Yeah, for nodular calcium, especially if you're not too deep. Deep nodular calcium could be a challenge, but calcium like this, I tend to favor the rotoblader approach. We have used some orbital, we've used some of the Diamondback with some reasonable success, but
I got it.
This tends to work out quite favorably as it shaves it on the way in. The other advantage I find with the rotobladers, you have a lot more tactile feel as opposed to the Diamondback. But I know other centers do prefer that as a first option.
Yeah, everybody has their own favorite microcatheter for these things. I find, at least with the turnpike spiral, it makes you get around some of these angulated lesions, gives you a lot more push.
Let's get a 275 trapper, please. Yeah.
It's flush.
Yeah.
And now let's get the RotoWire too. I don't know if you guys have it. We'll wait for the trapper.
So what size should we start with here, Arjun? What do you think as far as rotoblader?
Probably take a 1.5 burr to start off with here. So, it's at least a 3.5, 4 of us, but it's pretty tight.
I think so.
Let's go to the 1.5 burr.
The other thing is most of us have sort of moved away from using 1.25s off the hop. So that's usually, I think most of our practices started, the lowest burr will go with 1.5 unless we have a very difficult time getting it through. Most of our cases, I think you could get a 1.5 burr through just to get enough room. So I suggest let's try the 1.5 burr first, and then try the OCT again, see if you have enough plaque modification. Perfect. You can pin it there for me. Let's come down with a trap.
Trapper down, 12.
And this is the spiral we have, right?
Correct.
Perfect. What I usually do is I usually don't try to, just a little bit of a spinning motion, trapping the wire with my pinky. Couple of turns, see how it moves. And I think it's moving freely without much issue.
Beautiful progress.
And again, because I'm going to drop my RotoWire deep as much as possible, give myself support, make sure I drop it somewhere that's nice and deep so I'm not going to worry about. I think that should be enough. Okay, can we get some flesh on this thing and I'll pull this out.
Okay.
Just tolerate pretty good. Very little decel there.
Yeah, short pecs. That was beautiful. That's how to do it. You don't want to rush it.
You can see there's probably two nodules there, one in the beginning of it and one of the bigger ones right after. And I think the burr just got engaged in the second one. So we'll start to see if I can burr through that one.
There you go. That was nice. Nice polishing.
What do you think about that? Should we do another one?
Pretty good with that. What do you think, Arjun? It looks pretty good to me.
You're through, yeah,
Should we try OCT after this? Let me just lock this. Okay, you want to walk this out?
Sounds good. You going dying glide mode, or you don't need? You're 7 French.
I think 7 French should be okay. Sorry, let me just open this up. People classically talk about the duck sign as the burr is birding through. So I'm just going to leave this here. Wow, this thing is
too tight.
Back on. I just get stuck into that mode. Yeah, the duck sign, as it burrs into deep calcium, I really want to understand how thick the calcium is. Whether we need to do any aggressive burring, maybe with a larger burr. Perfect.
Like butter.
I think that's deep enough for us.
Absolutely.
Just going to pull the guide liner back so it allows us to. What do you guys think OCTing through guide liner?
Like with the guide liner inside?
Yeah.
We've done obviously it gives you lots of support to get the OCT through that. Not sure if you'd see through the guide liner if you image that.
I know.
I don't think that.
Let's do live view.
Yeah, let's have a look here, see if I have enough contrast to fill you in. Explore me there, please, there, here.
Let me get the guide in.
Love it.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that should do it.
manual.
No, let's go to automatic. I'm not sure why it defaults to manual on our.
I think the last time we used
I
it
used
was
it
on.
last.
Yeah.
Let's do auto calibrate.
So I'm assuming that they can see our screen up top there with the OCT run.
They can. Okay, enable pullback.
Okay, sounds good.
And we're going to cine and inject. Okay.
Beautiful. All right,
Okay.
we'll walk this guy out while we
I
go
think
register.
we got a good picture there. Got to come out with this. Make sure we're doing a
All
good
right.
triangle on this stuff.
Let's go register this thing.
There we go. I'll give you the OCT here.
I hope I didn't take that last line.
Let's see what we see here. I think that's a good one.
Looks good, yeah. All right, so we can start off here quite distally. You can see the calcium already extending, deep calcium there, distal to the vessel of interest. Here's the area that we're coming to where we ablated.
Ooh, let's look at the nodule right from above.
Deep penetrating nodule all the way. You can't see anything past that. All right, so the Rotor Pro, as you know, comes pre-attached. If you can change the entire system, obviously that's costs, or you can just change the unit per self. We'll open this up, make it nice and soft. And then we'll bring this guy nice and forward to expose the copper. I'm not sure how well it's going to project. So we'll pull the copper back. Then pop it off. It comes off. It slides nicely on there.
Oops, sorry.
Arjun, you've done this before, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you put this on.
Are we going with the better eyesight? Is that?
Yeah, he's younger. He's got better eyes. I can't see. I don't know if my focal's on.
You steer for the old system.
Get out of your way here. 161. We'll accept it. We'll accept it. Glide is dripping.
Glide is dripping.
Okay. Thanks, Christian.
Perfect. Let's accept it there.
All right, let's walk this through here.
Left main looks good. Oscillator looks good.
Look at that.
I think there's a pretty impressive amount of ablation there, because compared to what we had before.
Look at that. You've smoothened out your nodule. You've created a circular lumen to a certain extent. Your nodular calcium, which still comes in around 9-10 o'clock. Quite impressive.
Is there a crack at 12, or is that just a wire shadow?
I think that's a
or maybe
crack
it's at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Crack at 9.
It's your rubber ducking.
Yeah.
What's your rubber duck?
The rubber duck sign, yeah.
Yeah, rubber duck sign.
Okay, let's see if I can get the OCT in a bit more. Just get a better image. Let me get my wire in a bit more. Get my OCT in a bit more. Just to as any concerns regarding that distal segment. It's really tight in there. I don't want to buckle the catheter. Yeah, I think it's going to be almost there. I think the bend is just really fighting against us. I don't want to push it any harder. I don't want to get it stuck. What do you guys think? Balloon time?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 3.5 NC. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go with the 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 non-compliant, please. 15 or so. All right, Sheila, I'll give you this back here, please. That's the, yeah, that looks good to me.
Great. Get the wire as deep as possible. I think we're done with the rota. What do you guys think?
We're not going to go to too bigger than that. We're not going to, so.
As part of our practice, we always measure the MRCD for every patient, and we have it right in front of us, just in case there's so many things going on. We always have a look at our amount of contrast we're using. So far we're doing pretty good, and there's really no limitations in terms of our MRCD. I think that's one of the things is changed our practice, at least over the past 4 or 5 years, getting a bit more
Conscious.
visual look at the, there we go. I think that's, a little puff there, please. I want to make sure we're hitting it right at the spot.
Yeah, your distal's good.
A little puff again, please. Should we do caudal?
Yeah, have a look at the proximal.
I can't really. Little test there.
Brilliant.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
I think it's a go. Okay, let's go up 2, 4, 6, 8.
Up.
10, 12.
Nice expansion.
Yeah.
The nodular at
Let's go
midnight
to
looks like
14.
it's fighting you a little bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Let's keep it
shot.
at 14. Let's stay up for 30 seconds. Make sure we.
A good shot of that with Cine potentially.
Yes. Okay, let's do a Cine here. I think it looks fairly good.
Much better than it could have.
And down. I think that
14.
2 over made a difference.
Absolutely.
Although I'm always apprehensive about
Using a large burr.
nodules or large burrs.
The question that always comes up now is you've got a lesion there, you've got some recoil, post dilate or OCT again.
Let's see. Puff there for me. Let's make sure we have any excitement anywhere else.
That looks brilliant.
I think it looks pretty good. I would say let's just do an OCT. Save contrast. Let's do an OCT. And then takes a second guessing away from whether we have enough expansion of our stent. I have been fooled before, especially on the single angle angios, to think that the stent is expanded.
Do you want the guideline or?
We got it last time. Let's see. Hopefully with the
Stent straightens
stent
out.
in, we change the morphology of that ostium. There we go.
Be interesting to know what other labs use to displace blood as opposed to contrast. Historically we've used contrast. There's other options obviously out there. Saline typically doesn't do the job well enough.
You can look. I got it.
There you go, Jim.
Let's see. It does need that traction to straighten it up a little bit to bring the RX part down. As I do that, it does make a difference. Let's see. Now it's the part.
Looks buckled.
No, it doesn't
Yeah,
want to go.
I think you're buckled in the aorta.
Let's see if I can change the angle of the guide, maybe.
Pull it up and clock it. Looking good.
Let it free fall a little bit. No, it's just buckles more.
Looped in the aorta.
Let's go back in and try this part.
Yeah, open up the.
Oh, I got it.
Here you go, Jim. I'll give you this again.
Perfect. Let's see if I can get my wires untangled so we don't transmit the loop right into the.
Just straighten that out a bit there, Jim. From
There we go.
beautiful.
I think that part is a good part. And again, I'm very cognizant about not damaging my stent. I'm not 100% sure how it's expanded, so I want to make sure. Okay, thanks for joining
Appreciate it.
us.
Thanks.
This was a great opportunity. We'll see you guys on the next case. I got it.
Tough case.